Brock Purdy was on the Built for More podcast. And
whose podcast is that?
Well,
my bad.
No,
hey, Marcy, Built for More. Go ahead, Scott. He was on the
Marcy. That wasn't Marcy.
Yeah, she waved.
That was Bob. Marcy's not here today. Jeez. And see, this is kind of what some people, I don't want to say have a problem with, but you just did a whole.
If they got a problem, call me.
You
got a problem with goo, call me. We could talk about it. I don't need you to third person. If you got a problem, I hadn't heard about it, so don't do that. I don't like that phrasing.
Well, I'm gonna go forward with it anyway.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, you just said how you love talking to coworkers and camaraderie, and I don't know, maybe you're talking to the wrong people.
No,
So I'm going to ask you this. Okay. Like, that was Bob, not Marcy. So are you sure Megan is pregnant?
Right.
You sure it's not Lauren?
Listen,
could it be Lauren or Leslie?
One of my rituals is Marcy walks by and I throw up, she'll wave, I'll wave back. So I saw the silhouette of whoever I thought was Marcy. It was Bob. My bad. Okay. And you're right to call me out on, but she is pregnant.
Which one? Marcy, Bob, Lauren, Lindsay, or Megan?
And Brian are expected. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good.
By the way, the Built for More podcast is hosted by a guy named Denny Thompson, who works with quarterbacks and has built a podcast around faith. So that's why Brock Purdy was on.
Gotcha.
Oh, good stuff.
Like, I got you.
He's a pastor. He's a pastor at a church.
Gotcha. Oh. All right. So this is Brock Purdy on the separator between levels once you reach the NFL.
Okay.
Everybody in the NFL as a starter, even second-string guys, they're the best in the world at what they do. And you can have a great team in college, be surrounded by a great supporting cast, all these SEC schools that recruit great and they got great teams and they win national championships. And I'm not knocking them for that. That's awesome. Keep doing that. But when it comes to the NFL, dude, you're playing against the best of the best at every position. And so with that being said, it's how do you separate yourself? The talent, everybody's so talented and you got to be talented to play, yes. But at the end of the day, man, it's coming down to the mental part of the game of processing quickly, making the right decisions over and over and over. Kittle told me my rookie year, I'm like, dude, so what is it? And he goes, have you heard that Marshawn Lynch quote about you're going to get got, but you need a got more than the other guy or something like that? It's whoever can.
It sounds like a Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah. I was like, huh? And so I listened and I thought about it and he goes, Brocky, he's like, at the end of the day, you just got to be more consistent than the guy across from you and do better longer. They're going to make great plays. You're going to be, but who can do it the longest, mentally, physically, all of it together?
Wow. I believe all of that, man. It's talent everywhere, Stouty. And you always laugh at me because you think I don't respect the 13th man on an NBA team or, the last man that don't even play on a football team, but you had to be Billy Badass somewhere to make it to the pros. But I believe that. You got to keep reinventing yourself, man.
I mean, the one thing that I feel like is, okay, so when Purdy was, and I think he's right. I think he's absolutely right. So when Purdy was drafted in the 7th round as the last pick,
man,
I believe that because he got a break, or I don't want to say he got a break, but when he was evaluated right away, we took into consideration he was the last pick in the draft. Look what he's doing. This guy's the last pick in the draft. Well, now it's been 3 or 4 years, and he's been in the league. And it no longer matters that he was the last pick in the draft. He's a starting quarterback. So how good can he be among the 32 starting quarterbacks? I can't think of anything more irrelevant in a way than at this point he was the last pick in the draft. No. That's done. He's makes a ton of money. He's been starting for years.
Quarterback to Super Bowl.
Whether he was fairly or unfairly picked 7, he's just a regular old quarterback now who gets judged like every other quarterback.
Wow, that's fair. I had no problem with that, and I think you knocked that out the park. I guess if we're doing a bio on him, that'd be part of the story. But he's shed that. He's gotten paid. He's won an NFC championship game. He's quarterback to Super Bowl. And now he's won wherever you have him ranked. He's a top-tier quarterback.
How many tiers do you have on your quarterback list?
Well,
because I'd have him 2nd tier.
Okay, now, you would have to break that down because I had him 9th. I had him top 10. And there's some guys that he's beaten along the way in playoff pressurized games to where that means something to him. But then I sit back and I'm like, okay, was it 11 Brocks versus 11 Dak Prescotts? No. Did the Niners maybe have a better team? But I've seen Brock Purdy perform on the fly. You know, outside of the game, he got knocked out in the playoff game in Philly. But what he did against Geno Smith in the playoffs, Dak Prescott, Jordan Love, like I can't unforget that. Went toe-to-toe with Mahomes, you know, in the Super Bowl. So I got Brock Purdy like 7th or 8th on my list, man.
Yeah, would
that be considered your second tier?
That's a little high for me, but that's definitely second tier. You know, I think there's 4 or 5 quarterbacks that we'd all acknowledge we would take over Purdy, right? We take Josh Allen over Purdy.
No doubt.
We take Burrows over Purdy.
No doubt.
Stafford.
No doubt.
Mahomes.
No doubt.
Okay, so there's 4.
Okay,
so
gotcha.
whether I don't know how you feel anymore about Lamar Jackson or any of those other guys, but
he's done more than Lamar, but yeah.
That's tier 1.
Yeah.
That's tier 1. And Purdy's not in that, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, whether he's, I don't know, 8, 10, 12, that's up to you. But, you know, when I think about Brock Purdy, like I said, and I'm thinking about words to use, like, I think he's good.
Yeah.
I think he's solid. You know, I don't think he's elite. I think he's pretty reliable. I think he's tough.
What would elite look like in this Kyle? Like, can you get to elite? You know, what would that look like in Kyle's offense? Because elite to me was 2023 Brock Purdy when they went into that round. I know I keep bringing this up, but they went into that Christmas game against the Ravens, and he was an MVP candidate along with Lamar. Like, can it get even greater than that for him?
I mean, I think that year he had what? I'm talking about Purdy.
Yeah.
31 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, something like that. He had it going. So that's, you know, I mean, a year like that, I think everybody would take out of Brock Purdy. This is Kyle Shanahan from yesterday. First of all, this is what he said about this supposed hold-in.
Okay.
I mean, people make a lot of assumptions, and that would be one that they're wrong on.
All right, so he downplays the hold-in.
All right.
But he was asked about McCaffrey's injury and when we might expect him back, and this probably should make 49er fans feel pretty good.
I think if it wasn't Christian and we were in a game week, I think he would play today.
Is it related to the calf or Achilles?
No, just some tightness. He'll get sensitive if I say where. So.
I mean, Steiny, for him to, that's funny, but for him to say if it were game week, he probably would play. And after what I did personally, I wasn't by myself, but it's about me at the summit last year when I was overly concerned when we got that breaking news about the calf and we saw how he just went out and played 17 games. I mean, for Kyle to say if it were game week, he would play, like, man, nothing going on here. I don't believe.
And then obviously the other big injury guy for the Niners is Nick Bosa. What's going on with him? It was about a week ago they announced he was going to be week to week.
Yeah, he's making a lot of progress. And he's a lot less irritation, soreness, and tendinitis, whatever you want to call it, than he had last week. So we think he's going the right direction, and we see him similar to Christian.
All right, so it seems to me that Kyle's kind of, and the team, downplaying these injuries.
And I
think
love
they
the
feel
fact
like
that
they're healthy.
You know, and we only got 2, but Steiny, the regular season's, not too far off. You know what I mean? So we're going to find out who's what. Bosa has me nervous, man. Just that knee, that leg that he's had prior injuries on. So all according on who you read and who you talk to, this tendinitis, some say, it's just par for the course. But, man, you don't want it to be like an arthritic type of thing to where, he's just going to have issues with it. But, man, they need a big season from him.